The highly anticipated Wonka movie, a prequel to the beloved story of Willy Wonka and his chocolate factory, has finally graced the screens, leaving audiences enchanted and filled with curiosity. This whimsical cinematic journey takes us deep into the backstory of the eccentric chocolatier, unraveling a series of revelations and plot twists that intricately tie into the larger Wonka universe. Let's embark on a delightful quest to decode the ending and unravel the mysteries that unfold. Delving into Willy Wonka's early life, the movie takes viewers on a captivating journey through his initial struggles, creative inspirations, and the events that shape his unique perspective on life and confectionery. The film explores Wonka's humble beginnings, his encounters with the world of sweets and chocolates, and the impact of his relationships with mentors and rivals on his growth. It also showcases the origin of his iconic inventions, painting a vivid picture of his imagination and ingenuity. In summary, the Wonka movie blends enchantment, mystery, and whimsy, offering a captivating glimpse into Willy Wonka's enigmatic world. Did Wonka merely unveil a solitary realm of boundless imagination? Or does the young chocolatier, accompanied by his diminutive orange confidant, have more in store? Let's delve into the true significance of Wonka's ending. Willy Wonka, an immigrant brimming with aspirations, arrives in a foreign land, driven by his mother's inspiration to create and vend chocolate. However, destitute and lacking financial resources, he reluctantly settles for a remarkably affordable lodging agreement with the enigmatic duo, Mrs. Scrubbit and Bleacher. Unbeknownst to him, the fine print binds him to years of servitude, a plight he unwittingly succumbs to. Wonka's plans to pay off his debts by selling chocolate face a major obstacle: the chocolate cartel, led by Slugworth, who colludes with the chief of police to eliminate all competition. To overcome this challenge, Wonka teams up with other hapless victims of Scrubbit to stealthily build their chocolate empire. However, they must occasionally replenish stolen ingredients, as an Oompa Loompa seeks revenge for a prior cocoa theft. Within this group, Noodle, an orphaned girl, becomes Wonka's closest ally and teaches him the art of reading. Wonka's enchanting confections captivate the public, leading him to fulfill his dream of opening a store. However, the grand opening is marred by the malicious acts of the cartel. They bribe Scrubbit and Bleacher to poison the store's supply. In his darkest hour, Wonka is confronted with an ultimatum: leave town and all his friends' debts will be absolved. As Wonka boards the boat to depart, the Oompa Loompa catches up with him, igniting a spark of determination to fight back against the cartel. A moment of revelation strikes Wonka as he discovers that Slugworth's signet ring matches Noodle's. Unveiling the truth, Noodle is revealed to be Slugworth's niece, no longer free, but rather a pawn purchased by Scrubbit and Bleacher to prevent her from inheriting her family's fortune. Wonka embarks on a mission to reunite with his friends and orchestrate a daring heist to obtain documented evidence of the cartel's crimes. As they unearth the incriminating documents, the cartel cunningly ensnares Wonka and Noodle in a treacherous chamber slowly flooding with chocolate. Continuing their pursuit of Wonka's chocolate, the resourceful Oompa Loompa rescues them just in time, preventing a tragic drowning. The corrupt police chief faces swift consequences as undeniable evidence emerges, leaving him exposed and abandoned by his team. The cartel leaders, unsuspectingly consuming Wonka's levitation candies, meet a spectacular fate as they are blown away, leaving only remnants behind. Amidst the chaos, a cherished bar of chocolate is unveiled, revealing a golden ticket with a heartfelt message about the joy of sharing. As Noodle's mom is found, a heartwarming reunion takes place, accompanied by Pure Imagination sung by Wonka. In a moment of serendipity, Wonka and the Oompa Loompa strike a deal to collaboratively build their own chocolate factory. In the movie Wonka, the ultimate moral is spelled out loud and clear, quite literally written on a golden ticket. It embodies the age-old cliché of the real treasure being the friends we make along the way. This message is delivered with just the right amount of conviction and sincerity, aiming to tug at the heartstrings of viewers rather than making their eyes roll. From the very beginning, Wonka's motivation stems from his love for his late mother. Although she may only exist in his memories, he has managed to build a close-knit group of friends, creating a found family that he deeply cares for. The film also emphasizes the importance of balancing personal dreams with caring for others. Wonka was willing to sacrifice his own ambitions for the sake of his newfound family, but he eventually realizes that he can pursue both simultaneously. When asked about his actions, he simply replies, "I'm making chocolate, of course." Interestingly, the 2005 adaptation of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory aligns with its predecessor. While the original book and 1971 film use Wonka as a guide for moral lessons, the 2005 movie focuses on Wonka's own discovery of family values. Johnny Depp's portrayal of Wonka undergoes this transformation later in life, after a complex and strained relationship with his own family. Wonka delivers a powerful message about friendship, family, and pursuing dreams through its compelling language and storytelling, leaving a lasting impact on the audience. The ending of Wonka concludes the movie, but feels peculiar as an origin story for this character. Willy Wonka is known for his enigmatic and reclusive nature. Gene Wilder's portrayal exudes cynicism. He doesn't even pretend to care about children getting hurt during his factory tour. Charlie almost misses out on his reward due to a contract he can't comprehend. If Wonka aims to showcase a younger Wonka discovering the importance of friendship, it seems odd to envision him later isolating himself in his factory. Perhaps the Oompa Loompas would suffice as companions, but wouldn't he desire contact with Noodle and his other human friends? It's disheartening to imagine this version of Wonka, deceived by contract law in his youth, growing into the same person who would perpetrate such actions on others. Uncertainty surrounds whether this story stands alone as a depiction of Willy Wonka or serves as a prelude to the events in the novel and films. Paul King's film presents distinct elements that suggest a departure from established continuity. Wonka seems to be set in a fantastical realm, with a fictional currency of silver sovereigns and enchanting musical numbers. The period depicted is purposefully vague, featuring an amalgamation of anachronistic styles and technologies. Additionally, Timothée Chalamet's portrayal of Arthur Slugworth diverges significantly from the 1971 version, drawing inspiration from Jim Carrey's memorable performances. If the Chalamet Wonka is indeed intended to portray a younger version of the Wilder Wonka, then it can be assumed that significant changes will occur in his life between the events of Wonka and the time he takes Charlie Bucket on a tour of the factory. The transformation of Chalamet's Wonka into the beloved Wilder Wonka would, to some extent, be influenced by the enigmatic Hugh Grant Oompa Loompa. Despite making only brief appearances in the film, the Oompa Loompa emerges as one of its most pivotal characters, driving the narrative forward. In many aspects, his portrayal aligns closely with the witty and justice-driven Wonka that audiences already hold dear, showcasing a pursuit of justice that teeters on the edge of sadism. According to Loompa law, any crime must be met with a punishment 1,000 times more severe. This kind of philosophy could justify whimsical transformations, like turning gum-chewing kids into blueberries or teleporting television addicts into the TV itself. It is the Oompa Loompa who encourages Wonka to stand up against the chocolate cartel, propelling the story towards its climax. Although this retaliation doesn't reach the nightmarish punishments of the book version of Wonka or Wilder Wonka's ironic retributions, it does add a touch of classic Roald Dahl-style darkness to the character, rather than keeping him purely whimsical and innocent. As Noodle starts to provide Wonka with a more well-rounded education beyond chocolate, we can imagine how this version of Wonka is gradually aligning with the original in some aspects, even if the power of friendship element makes him distinct in other ways. During an interview with Games Radar, coinciding with the release of the film's trailer in July, Paul King provided valuable insight into his approach in conceptualizing a younger version of Wonka. He described the process as a notable challenge before further elaborating. But I also felt, maybe misguidedly, but just probably from those childhood readings, that I did know who this person was. How do you like it? Dark, white, nutty? Absolutely insane? He used the conclusion of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory to support the idea that the older, more cynical version of the character still held onto the values of goodness, kindness, and hope. These values were crucial in shaping the younger version of Wonka. According to him, Noodle served as a necessary counterbalance, a person with a slightly more cynical perspective, to contrast with the innocence of young Wonka. King, however, acknowledged, "I'm not sure my soul is quite as dark as Roald Dahl's." This sentiment partly explains the film's uplifting conclusion, where Wonka's positivity remains largely unaffected. Hugh Grant's role, both in acting and promoting Paul King's movies, involves infusing his signature cantankerousness into a character that might otherwise veer into excessive saccharinity. During a conversation with the Associated Press, Grant, alongside Timothée Chalamet, playfully poked fun at the director's perfectionism and the peculiar experience of portraying an Oompa Loompa. However, Grant made it abundantly clear that he thoroughly enjoyed being a part of the production. When discussing the film's morale, he eloquently expressed his thoughts, saying, "It's not a trite, tacked-on motto. It comes from his heart." Chalamet echoed this evaluation, affirming the director's genuine commitment, albeit admitting he would be skeptical if he heard it from an external source. He drew parallels between this experience and his involvement in Greta Gerwig's Little Women, highlighting how both successfully navigated the challenges of adapting classic stories, dispelling doubts surrounding IP-based films. This film is a refreshing departure from Roald Dahl's original material, offering a captivating storyline that feels truly enchanting. I found it to be a mesmerizing experience. In an article for Total Film, King revealed his openness to creating sequels for Wonka. He highlighted how Roald Dahl, a writer who typically avoided sequels, still found ways to explore the character of Willy Wonka. Dahl wrote Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, featuring Wonka, and even had plans for a third book in the series, showcasing the vast potential for continuation. King expressed, "There's an awful lot more Wonka story that we would like to tell. It's not like Dune Part 1, where you go, this is what's happening in Part 2. Ideally, the movie is a splendid standalone experience. However, I am eager to explore further possibilities. I yearn to delve deeper into this captivating world, and perhaps encounter a few additional Oompa Loompas along the way." But what are your thoughts? Would you like to see a sequel or prequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or is the original film perfect as is? Let us know in the comments section below.